Stephen Hawking once said, "Intelligence is the ability to adapt to change." It's a sentence so simple on the surface, yet once you sit with it, really let it settle into your bones, it unfolds like a universe in itself. Change is inevitable. It doesn't ask for permission, and it doesn't wait for readiness. It comes whether we are prepared or not, but our relationship with it, how we meet it when it arrives, that's where intelligence lives. We often think of intelligence in narrow terms: IQ tests, academic achievements, how fast someone can solve a math problem or memorize a fact. But Hawking, a man who knew more about the universe than almost anyone in history, didn't define intelligence that way. His mind, trapped in a body that slowly betrayed him due to ALS, could have given up. Many would have. But he didn't. He chose to adapt. Not once, not twice, but again and again. Adapting doesn't mean surrendering. It doesn't mean giving up on our dreams or letting go of who we are. It means adjusting our sails when the winds shift, rather than cursing the storm. Intelligence isn't just about surviving change. It's about letting it sculpt us into someone new, someone wiser, more resilient, more aligned with truth. There's something quietly revolutionary in choosing to adapt. It requires self-awareness. It means acknowledging what's no longer working, what must be released, and who we must become. That's not easy. Change often threatens the ego. It whispers, "You are no longer who you thought you were." And for many of us, that's terrifying. But what if intelligence isn't about clinging to certainty, but being fluid in uncertainty? What if it's less about having the right answer and more about asking the right question when everything around us falls apart? Consider a moment in your life when something unexpected happened. Maybe you lost your job. Maybe a relationship ended. Maybe a dream you poured your heart into suddenly collapsed. That sting, that ache, is real. But what you chose to do next, that's where your intelligence emerged. Did you resist it? Did you try to force the old story to stay alive? Or did you pause, breathe, and begin the process of letting go, even if it hurt? Because adaptation isn't a one-time decision. It's a continuous, conscious unfolding. It's waking up every day and saying, "Okay, this is how things are now. Who can I be in this?" Hawking didn't just accept the limitations of his body. He redefined what those limitations meant. He didn't stop being a scientist. He didn't stop being curious. He became a voice, a symbol, a reminder that while our circumstances may constrain us, our minds can still be infinite. Think of water. It doesn't resist the shape of the container. It flows into it, around it, through it. And yet, that same water can erode mountains, carve canyons, and sustain life. Intelligence, real intelligence, is like water. It doesn't need to dominate or control. It observes. It listens. It adapts. And through that adaptability, it transforms everything. And what about the emotional layers of change? The heartbreaks, the grief, the identity shifts. Emotional intelligence is a vital piece of the puzzle. It's not just about understanding others. It's about understanding ourselves in times of transition. Can we sit with discomfort without turning away? Can we hold our fear without letting it paralyze us? Adapting doesn't mean numbing. It doesn't mean denying what we feel. It means honoring the emotions that come up and then choosing how we respond. Reaction is instinctual. Response is intelligent. When we respond, we step into awareness. We say, "This is difficult, but I'm still here, and I will find a way forward." In today's world, change is accelerating. Technology shifts. Cultures evolve. The climate changes. Entire industries disappear overnight. To survive is no longer enough. We must evolve. We must stay curious, flexible, and humble enough to admit when we don't know, and brave enough to learn. Think about the caterpillar. It doesn't know what's happening inside the cocoon. Everything it once was dissolves. It literally breaks down into mush. But from that chaos, a butterfly emerges. That's not a metaphor. It's a biological reality. Destruction is part of transformation. And so often, intelligence lies in trusting that process, even when it feels like we're falling apart. Most people want transformation, but few want to face change. We want the outcome, but not the uncertainty. The truth is, adaptation often feels like failure before it reveals itself as growth. It's in the dark nights, the quiet moments, the private doubts where intelligence is tested most deeply. Stephen Hawking adapted not just intellectually, but spiritually. He lived with a level of grace that many physically able people never reach. He was honest about what was happening to him, and yet, he kept dreaming. He kept asking questions about time, about the cosmos, about existence itself. That's the kind of intelligence we need today. Not just people who can calculate data, but people who can stay present in the face of chaos and still remain curious. You might be in the middle of a transition right now. Maybe it's internal. Maybe it's external. Maybe life doesn't look how you thought it would, and you're wondering what the next step is. The next step isn't always about action. Sometimes, it's about acceptance. Sometimes, it's about breathing through the discomfort long enough to realize that you haven't been broken, you've been broken open. And once you're open, you can begin to adapt. You can look around and ask, what is life asking of me now? Not what you want it to be, not what it used to be, but what it is, right now. Intelligence meets reality, not fantasy. It lives in the present. And sometimes, adaptation is radical. It's not just making a small change. It's leaving the life you built, walking away from the roles you've played, and building something entirely new. That requires courage, but even more, it requires trust. Trust in your own capacity to grow. Trust that you are more than your current situation. Trust that, just like Hawking, your mind, your soul, your being can expand, even when the world seems to shrink. There's a paradox here. The more we resist change, the more painful it becomes. But the more we embrace it, the more power we discover. Intelligence isn't about always knowing what to do. It's about being willing to learn. And learning only happens when we admit we don't have all the answers. The old models of strength, rigidity, control, domination are collapsing. The new model is fluid, soft, responsive. It adapts not because it's weak, but because it's wise. Like bamboo in the storm, it bends, but does not break. So ask yourself, where in your life are you being called to adapt? Is it your beliefs, your relationships, your habits, your identity? And more importantly, are you resisting that call, or are you listening? Stephen Hawking's life wasn't easy, but he showed us that intelligence is not just in the equations we solve or the theories we write. It's in the way we face the unknown, in the way we keep asking questions, in the way we choose to continue, even when the odds seem against us. Adaptation is not a weakness, it's a superpower. And you have it. You were born to evolve. And every challenge you face is not a wall, it's a doorway, a threshold, an invitation to step into more of who you are. If you're struggling right now, that doesn't mean you're failing. It means you're in the middle of transformation. Hold on, stay curious, stay open, because what you're becoming is more powerful than you can imagine. And as you walk through this, remember, true intelligence isn't about being right. It's about being real. It's about meeting life where it is, not where you wish it was. If you want to explore Bruce Lee's famous words, "Be water, my friend," which holds the key to adaptability, resilience, and mastering any challenge, You can watch our other video where it is explained clearly. And if this message resonates with you, type adaptation is not a weakness, it's a superpower in the comments to help spread this wisdom and make this video reach more people. Or explain any situation where you faced unexpected change and found a way to adapt. Your story might inspire someone who's silently going through the same thing. See you later in the next video.